2024. So thank you all for being here, and we will start our meeting as we always do with an invocation. And Magistrate Sleeper, I believe today is your day.
Today's my day. All right. Well, shall we pray? Well, we'll close the door, then we'll pray.
We got the last few coming in.
We'll let people in and then we'll pray.
VIPs are coming in.
Okay, shall we pray? Father in heaven, we thank you for the privilege of serving the people of Boyle County, and as we embark upon this new year, Lord, we would ask that you would grant us intellectual integrity and courageous and compassionate hearts and undaunted and faithful spirits in serving the people of our community. As we adjudicate and legislate this agenda today, Lord, we pray that you'd be with us, give us wisdom and concern and compassion, and help us, Lord. We ask that you would heal our nation with your healing, and we pray for our first responders and our service people, Lord, and we pray that your hand of protection and prosperity would be upon Boyle County. In the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, we pray. Amen.
Amen, and thank you very much. I'd also like to announce that Magistrate Bodner is with us via teleconference, and it has already been advertised, so she does have voting powers this morning.
Hollywood.
You look great, Magistrate Bodner, you look great.
I have to wear my glasses because of my eyes tear up real easy. So.
Well, that's all right. If you all will stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. We'll approve our prior meeting minutes, and that was a special called meeting on December 21st. That was our last meeting of the year. And do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So move.
I have a motion by Magistrate Gay, a second by Magistrate Sleeper. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. We will approve our bills. Elena?
Good morning.
Good morning.
How is everybody?
Very well.
Okie dokie. So in your packet, the bill totals are $979,462.40. We are going to be removing one of the bills, and that is for 84 lumber, and that is in the amount of $1670.34. We're going to be removing that because the contractor had agreed to pay this, had not taken care of it. We were going to go ahead and pay it to get it out of our name. He went up there and paid that recently, so that's going to be removed in total. The total amount of bills we're going to pay now is $977,792.06.
And that's on the first page, you all, of the bills. She's talking about. Who was the contractor on that?
That contractor was J. Johnson Contracting.
Okay.
Or Construction. J. Johnson
So
Construction.
just for clarification, $1,670.34.
Will be removed, yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right, thanks.
So I'll make the motion, we approve the payment of the bills with that change.
Okay, have a motion by Magistrate Gay. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Magistrate Sleeper. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries.
And I would also like to present, well, I guess, kind of an FYI for the board. Today we're going to be cutting a check for an ambulance, a 2023 Medics ambulance. This was approved back in 2021, but it's now time to go pick it up, and it is pay on delivery. We're going to have to add, though, $5,000 to it.
Well, we haven't talked about that yet. I think what we'd like to do after we spoke this morning in our committee,
Okay.
cut the check for what we had signed the contract for, and then we'll discuss the $5,000 later.
Okay. We can do that. Then FYI, I'm going to be cutting that check.
Yeah, well,
So
thank you for the FYI.
what's the total on that you're cutting the actual check for?
$200,635.25.
Correct. Thank you.
Thank you.
All
Any
right,
motion
thank
for that
you.
or anything? Or?
I don't think so. It was already approved. I just wanted you all to know that it was happening today.
It was pay on delivery.
Just a point of discussion though, Judge, so that the public understands.
Sure.
We were in a circumstance as much as 2 and 3 years ago
Still are.
where you had to look all across the country. And we literally had a meeting where Mike and his colleagues left the moment that we were purchasing an ambulance because they are not available all across the United States. And we got that one in just by the skin of our teeth.
Magistrate Bodner, we're getting a little bit of background noise. Do you have some?
Oh,
Okay, just when you want to talk, just unmute.
yes. Sorry, I thought I had it turned off.
That's okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, budget transfers, Darlene?
Budget transfers, I have actually had a typo on that very first line of the general fund. It should say 015001592000 for CJE vehicle repair. But I have a total of $47,314.53. I have $24,314.53 coming from the general fund, $22,000 in the LGEA fund, and that's basically just going out of that reserve line into the actual usage line. And then in EMS, $1,000 is being transferred over.
Any questions?
No, I move that we approve the budget transfers as presented.
Okay, I have a motion by Magistrate Gay. Is there a second?
I make a second.
Second by Magistrate Bodner. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay?
Uh,
Motion carries. All right, and then we have cash transfers.
Cash transfers, I do want to make a change on here because in all my infinite wisdom, I forgot that we were going to do the ambulance today. So, general fund operations to EMS needs to go from $200,000 to $400,000. Then general fund to public works would be $50,000, so total $450,000.
That we approve the cash transfers as presented with the correction to for the ambulance purchase.
All right, have a motion by Magistrate Gay. Is there a second? Second by Magistrate Harmon. Any discussion?
What's the original 200,000 for EMS going to? Is that just
It was just operations.
operational stuff?
Yeah, it's actually, there's enough there to cover, but it will be short by payroll time. So that would be to cover more than cover payroll.
Do you not want to, since we're doing the transfer, do you not want to do the second part of the transfer for the exact dollar amount, or to keep it clean, or do you just want to do 200,000?
We can. If you want to go ahead and do that, we could make it, what, $400,635?
That would be my recommendation.
We can do that.
Okay.
So what was the
Accept
new
that,
amount?
So
accept
it'll
that
go-
change as part of the motion.
Yeah, from $200,000 to $400,635.
$100,635, okay. Okay, so we have a motion on the floor to approve the cash transfers with the changes named. Is there a second? We have a second by Magistrate Harmon. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. All right, and then you have budget update?
We're not going to do the budget update
Okay.
right now. We're going to do that in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Finance Committee's going to talk about that first.
All right.
I do want to point out, I do have the monthly settlement for the checking accounts in your information. And I also got our first phone call from the auditors yesterday, so that will begin fairly soon.
All right, good deal.
Good.
Thank you.
Uh,
Thank you very much. Okay, we'll move down to new business, and our first one is the Planning and Zoning Board of Adjustment appointment, and I would like to recommend Willie Baker to the Board of Adjustments.
I would like to make that motion, Judge.
All right, we have a motion by Magistrate Ellis,
Second?
second by Magistrate Gay. Is there any discussion?
Outstanding member of our community in my district.
All right.
Sorry to hear that, sir.
All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Thank you, Magistrate Bodner. Willie is here today. Willie, if you'd like to stand, be recognized.
Ken, nice to meet everybody. I look forward to working with anybody in any way I can, obviously in the western end of the county, but Boyle County's always been my home and I'm looking forward to serving.
Is that blue area up there?
That
the
blue
small
area?
The sparsely populated blue area.
We appreciate your willingness to serve, and we have a certificate that we got to make a little tweak on, and then we'll make sure that you get it. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, next is Library Board appointment, and I would like to recommend Rita Bloom to the Boyle County Public Library Board of Trustees. She is currently serving on the private board. Am I telling that right? Okay. And she's going to move from the private board to the Board of Trustees. So I'd like to
I'll make that motion.
have a motion by Magistrate Gay. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Magistrate Sleeper. Any discussion?
Not on that, I just had a question.
Okay.
On the board itself, looking at that map, as Thomas pointed out, how many of the board members are kind of spread out, or is it kind of more centered in Danville for the board members that we have?
No, it is spread out. I can't tell you exactly off the top of my head, but I have a record of it that I can give you if you wish. There are only 5 board members, so I don't think we can't cover all the districts.
Of course, no, not all the districts, but I think it's important for every person that pays taxes to the library that they're represented as well. So I know we have someone from Paravel. I just didn't know if we had anybody down from Junction that's been looked at to be part of the board.
We did. I'm sorry, I can't rattle.
I put you on the spot.
Yeah.
If next time you're here, we get together, talk
I
about
can
it.
send you an email and let
That'd
you
be
know.
great. Thank you.
I have it, I just can't rattle it off.
Wonderful. Thank you.
And Counselor, I would ask, is there a statutory limitation on board members? Because, we don't even have enough to cover each of the magisterial districts. And if there is not a statutory limit to the members, did you say there are only 5 members?
5 is standard. I don't understand. I don't know. I can't tell you if that's the statutory limit. I think that's the standard around the state.
Well, we could check that out because,
I can ask. I will ask.
I'm not looking for magistrate districts. I don't think there should be one from every district. I'm just saying that it shouldn't just be centered in, just District 5 for that.
Should be represented between county and city.
Yeah, taxpayers should be representative in all areas.
The board does make a concerted effort to get representation from
Good.
around the county.
That's
so.
that was where I was going with that.
Yeah.
All right, wonderful.
They do that. I just can't rattle it off for you.
No,
I'm sorry.
and yeah, thank you.
All right, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any other discussion? All those in favor of the motion to appoint Rita Bloom to the Library Board of Trustees signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. And Rita, I have a certificate for you today. Let me sign off on this real quick. All right. If you'd like to come up and receive your certificate. And we'll turn around and Julie will take our picture.
That's okay. Thank you. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you. All right, and thank you so much. Appreciate everything you do for the library board. Thank you. Well, I do too, so you have a fan in me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Next on our agenda is we have several employees that we want to issue certificates of appreciation for their years of service.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's important that our employees be recognized whenever they meet a milestone in their employment with the county. So we normally do 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and then you get on up to me, and it's just like, we don't need a certificate after that. No, but I'd like to start off with recognizing Angie Muncie, and we did fail to recognize her for her 5 years of service with Boyle County government. So Angie. She'll take a lot of pictures. You should have. right, ready? Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate your service. Okay, then we're going to start with the 20 years and work our way down. Janice Spears, 20 years of service. Boy, it don't seem like that long, does it? Julie?
I'm sorry. Can you go this way? Because Barry looks like he's peeking through your corner.
Barry, are you?
That's much better.
Thank you, ma'am. We appreciate everything you do.
Always watching.
Becky Webb, 20 years of service.
Oh, I didn't even know anything about this.
How about
Like,
that?
come on.
How about that?
Great. Very good. Good picture. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate your service. Chris Stratton, 15 years of service. We don't see that long, Chris.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Get the old man.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Remember when he was a kid.
Bill Brown, 10 years of service. Now, Bill, I really can't believe this one. I mean, 10 years, that is long by. I'm telling you.
If we get a group photo.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
All right, Taylor wants in.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, the sheriff wants in. Sheriff Autumn wants in.
Get a group photo. Sorry. I'll get over here.
No, it's all right.
Really.
Yeah, get over here.
Peggy? No, I'm not sure.
Sheriff's office.
Okay. 1,
Literally.
2, 3. Great.
Wow.
Thank you. Appreciate the service, Bill.
how we rate with Taylor.
Jason Cullen, are we done? 5 years of service. Awesome.
Thank you.
Got it. Thank you. Yeah.
Top dog. Great.
Tom Ellis.
My goodness. And before Jason sits down, if he'll have me, I'll have a picture
Want
with
to do a
him
joint
too,
photo?
since we can't get it together.
Already set down.
Yeah.
Get up there, we'll do a photo.
Barry hate to block you out
He
there.
wants you to come back up here and
Well, we're
do
gonna,
a threesome.
yeah, we gotta.
All right. Thank you, Tom.
Come on up here.
Well, just let Jamie get his.
Oh, that's right, we got the other.
Yeah,
Forgot
there's
about
yours.
those.
All right.
Thank you.
Jamie Gay, 5 years of service.
We'll wait for Chris too.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah. James.
All right. Thank you,
And
sir.
the court members.
Chris Aaron.
The county's turned out, it's the county comprising the whole district. So go ahead and let Mercer.
Appreciate it.
Get very
Thank you.
You want to do a group now?
Come on up here. Magistrate Cullen.
Gotta find a chick.
I'm getting back here.
Y'all want me in?
Well, sure.
Well,
Oh,
I don't
well,
have to-
I guess, I guess we're the court that came.
No, my daughter's playing the phone game, so my wife's.
Do one with and one without, and
All
that's
right.
it, yeah.
Come in a little bit there. All right. 1, 2, 3.
All right, now let me get out and then you do
Okay.
that.
Jason, can you go that? Yeah, there. Perfect. Thank you.
All right.
And we didn't celebrate the fact that Jason Coleman's an old man now.
Well, we want to thank each and every one of you for everything that you do for Boyle County within your jobs and everything that you do for our community. So, thank you all very much.
He's a half century old now.
Okay, next we'll have Mimi Becker with the Art Commission Citizen Award. Welcome, Mimi.
Thank you all very much for having me, and I appreciate absolutely everything that you all do and the support you've given the arts in our community. It's made a big difference. We had a wonderful year last year, began some new programs, we're going to be tweaking some and also enhancing others, so we are very proud of what we do for Boyle County. It's been my privilege to represent the Arts Commission for the last several years. And traditionally, the Arts Citizen of the Year is given to a person who has not really, it's just not just a year, it's really the whole of their commitment to our community. This year marks the 20th year of this award, But last year, we sort of broke it into two parts, and we won't necessarily do that all the time, because last year we recognized the farmers market for their work in enhancing their program by bringing artists into their program, as well as supporting the Constitution Square Festival. So this year, we have decided that we will recognize a second group. And so in no particular order, we are going to introduce Steve Hoffman first. Steve is the Art Citizen of the Year for 2023. I have put on your spaces there our newsletter, and there was an article in the paper about him. So his accomplishments are lengthy. He came here, and we're very grateful. He saw the benefit of leaving the far west coast to come to Danville, and he has not only continued the tradition of the work at the Norton Center, but he has brought kind of a new vibe to it. His programming is not only recognizes the traditional and the things that we have always enjoyed, you know, people coming back like Yo-Yo Ma and Stomp and various others, but he has introduced us to many new artists, world-class entertainers all, and continue to enhance the collaboration with the community and even bring it to a new level. The year-long exhibit at the African American Historical Society is an example of that. We really appreciate Steve also just because of Steve. He is a genuine, kind person who serves our community in programs such as the Gladys Project on the board, and he was on the board of the Art Center of the Bluegrass as well. So Steve Hoffman is our 2023 Citizen of the Year, Art Citizen of the Year.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, just wait a second. We also, after having thought about this and thought, well, maybe we shouldn't do the second thing this year, then we realized, oh my God, the Norton Center is 50 years old. Same age as Jason Collins. We didn't put that in our calculation, but you know.
Milestone year.
Milestone years.
It might be a millstone.
But the Norton Center began as a regional program. Clearly, it was not going to be just, you know, for the college, but it has grown to be truly an internationally recognized program, certainly nationally recognized. And for our local community, it's the collaboration, bringing into the building a wide variety of people, expanding programs so that it appeals to a wide variety of people. As I said, the African American exhibit, for example, but also just encouraging younger people. So in lieu of, typically we give a recognition of some type of fame to each of the Art Citizen, and if we do this as well. But this year, in lieu of that, we made a donation in Steve's name to the Norton Center's ticket fund for students, so that students all across the county, and actually across the state, as a matter of fact, can enjoy class art, you know, a variety of arts regardless of their financial situation. We did give a little something, but the main thing was to contribute to that fund in Steve's name. So we want to thank you for allowing us to say this. And Steve and Jennifer Broadwater is here from the staff, as well as Addie Osborne representing the Norton Center. So.
Awesome. This is wonderful news. Steve, you are a wonderful asset to our community, and we appreciate everything that you do.
Well, thank you. And we strive to reach the entire county. So appreciate the county's support constantly, continuously, and it's always great to see everyone at the Norton Center. So thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
In our community, and Steve, thank you for all you do. It's the Norton Center. I hope everybody fully appreciates what a jewel that is for our county, our community, because it's just amazing to have the world-class events that we have right here in our community on a regular basis.
I appreciate the fact that you've stepped up your marketing the last couple of years. I think it is maybe last year, I don't know. So just kidding. Addie is very special friend. She used to work for me over at the Hub. And got to know her. She's kind of like a daughter. She's part of the family, and she's extremely. Her and her husband are both extremely talented, and I love seeing the work that she puts out there. So I appreciate you guys adding her to the family. So thank you.
With my hometown of Louisville, I well remember the chagrin suffered by Louisville that Norton opened up before their fine center in Louisville, Kentucky. So
That's right, I didn't think about that,
Yeah.
but that's true.
That's why we were the regional arts center first. It drew from Louisville, Lexington.
Yeah.
The Singletary Center wasn't built yet, so, and the Kentucky Center for the Arts wasn't.
you've done your
built yet.
homework.
Yeah. Well, and then the Louisville Orchestra is coming to help celebrate.
Celebrating
Awesome.
50th.
Awesome, that's great. And Mimi, we would like to extend happy birthday to you as
Oh,
well.
goodness gracious, it was a tragedy, it was a shocker of a birthday, you all. It's not in his range, it's way beyond his range.
Almost the top range.
You're still a youngster.
Well, thank you for saying that. Thank you all very much.
Thank you for being here.
Appreciate it.
Casey McCoy out there.
Yes, here.
Should be. They're not doing anything over there.
Right?
Come in, Happy New Year.
Extra vacation over there.
Oh, yeah.
Vacation.
Welcome.
Welcome. Of course, I'm here to present our this year's 2024 salary cap and budget for the clerk's office. I gave Katina a copy, and I'm sure that y'all have a seat on your. Our salary cap's not to meet or exceed $804,200 throughout the year 2024. And of course, that covers all our full-time, part-time, overtime wages, vacation, sick, health insurance, comp time, Social Security, retirement, and our health insurance portion.
Okay. Need a motion to approve the salary cap.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor of approving County Clerk 2024 salary cap signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. You want us to approve the budget as well?
Please.
Okay. Then we need a
I'll
motion
make
to.
that motion.
All right. Have a motion by Magistrate Gay, a second by Magistrate Cullen. Any discussion on the budget? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. I think we've lost Paula. There she is. Paula, you there? Looks like she's frozen. She's frozen in time.
You've stunned her.
Casey, you have just stunned her.
She said, I think the internet has been struggling down there.
Yeah.
In her neck of the woods.
Okay,
The
well,
storms.
maybe she'll come back with us. All right, did you have a comment?
I just was gonna ask if we could be updated on the, you gave me a brief update in the hall, but I think it'd be a good
yes.
time to
So-
update everybody on the work going on in your area.
Paula, you're,
Mute her,
You
Bill.
probably can't hear it.
yeah, you are, yeah, we've lost her again. Okay, sorry.
So, as everyone knows, they spent last week updating, downloading over 300 or over 3 million articles of data to the new CAVIS system. Yesterday, 9 counties went live. I think they ended the day with either 17 or 20 bug fixes that they called bug fixes. They said that,
Is that like a punch list?
yeah, that they prioritized, they said. They have, once the 9 counties went live, the system slowed down dramatically, with just 9 counties, so they said they fixed it, and I think 30 counties went live today, and of course we're set to go live tomorrow. So hopefully it's going to be slow. There's still a lot of fixes that they're going to have to come up with, but they're providing workarounds for some of the problems that they're having. It's just going to be, it's going to take not only our office a long time to learn the new ways around stuff and new ways to do stuff, but it's going to be time consuming to the fact that when you come in and have your ID, you're gonna have to, the person's gonna have to have their ID to move forward. So somebody waits in line for 45, 50 minutes and then gets to the front of the line and then they don't have their ID, they're gonna have to turn around and go get their ID. So
What qualifies as an ID?
your driver's license or your state
Social
issued,
Security?
yeah, state issued ID.
Well, social security card won't work.
A social security card will work.
Will, okay.
But it's ID based, so there.
You'd have to do a manual entry on it.
Yeah.
Social security card, okay.
Would you have some signage on the door saying you must have your ID and
Yes,
something to let them know if they're?
Yes, today I'm gonna try to put it all down the hall. I'm gonna try to make it outside, so when they're in the parking lot coming in, they can see it.
You'll have people carrying signs outside?
Yeah, I
like
know, I have
pictures?
to pay somebody to advertise, but, it's, I don't know, we'll see, that's all we can do is, but the good thing is tomorrow, our office will actually be able to do dealer work and do the mail that we've acquired over the past week and a half, which is a lot. So they can get, the girls can do the work and learn the system without somebody standing in front of them. That way on Thursday when we are open to the public, that maybe they can have a little head start. And
So you'll be open on Thursday?
Thursday's our first day open to the public.
And then one last question from me is, I know, and also we talked about this creating a cash flow issue for your office. Are you able to make your payroll, or we
no,
need to reach into, are we good on what we said we would get to you at this point?
As of right now, we have $8,000 in our bank account for the year. So we definitely don't have enough to cover the first payroll at least. And I would be able to better suited after a week or two of the office being open to be able to say if the first two payrolls being covered is going to be enough. I think it will be. Of course, if
Shannon, you're good on all that? Okay.
And if not, then I'll of course come back in front of you and ask you for an extension. But I think at least the first two will be sufficient enough.
Any issues and or recommendations for our two major automobile dealers in town?
What do you mean, Rick? We've met with that's what Ashley that covers all of our dealer work in the office. She did a fantastic job. We actually went to Stuart Powell, went to Bob Allen last week and sat down and had a meeting with the entire dealership on what we have to have from them and what they have to have from us. So, and then she met with other dealers here, smaller dealerships here in the fiscal courtroom last week to ensure that we have everything squared away, and they're going to bring their work in starting tomorrow, so we can get all of it called up. So.
Yeah, I mentioned, I met with both of them prior to Christmas, and they were concerned about year-end closeouts and that sort of thing. That's all taken care of.
Yeah.
Good, great.
And then did the state say they were going to waive penalties or?
The state's waiving January's if you're delinquent in January, the month of February, they're waiving that fee.
Okay.
There should be no issues there. I know we've had a lot of phone calls about people worried about that, but the state's going to waive any of the fees in January. Now they can't come in be due in November of last year and expect to have
right.
That won't happen. But if you're due in January and February, those fees will be waived.
Okay. Good information. I know y'all are excited about getting open, but kind of
it's
nervous at the same time.
Yeah, it's been a lonely place over there for a week. It's crazy how many people are in and out of the clerk's office when your doors are closed. But, I also just want to say one quick thing too. I was invoiced this morning for our election equipment. Which will be arriving, of course. It's going to arrive Thursday or Friday this week. So that'll be, of course, I know the money's already there from the state and stuff like that. So we have the money waiting on the equipment. But it'll be here this week.
All right. Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Great job. And Shannon? You have a comp time agreement?
I do, we
Motion
missed
negative.
one on the group last week, so that's one comp agreement for Chris Booth.
All right, did you make the motion?
I did.
All right, and second by Mr. Gay. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay?
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Bodner. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything from you we need to know?
I'm
Everything good?
working on W-2, so
Okay.
I'm hoping to have them out.
How's the insurance rollout going?
Other than the cards being slow, and I think.
I got mine.
Yeah, I did too.
I got my cards, but they all said my name, and I asked Shannon, and I sent her a text today. She said it'll still be good for all your.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the system, it's.
It's
Yeah.
got everybody. If anybody has any trouble, let me know. I can reach out to Stacy and see if we can get it resolved.
All right, thank you. Okay, and at this time, we have a change to our agenda. As it says at the top, subject to change, and Mr. Cullen, I believe you have
Yeah.
something you'd like to share with Luca Mariano Distillery?
Well, yes, I'm glad my friends from Luca Mariano are here, but the city of Danville is kind of pushing to have 52 moved down in priority and their connector road moved up. And as someone I spoke with put it very eloquently, the connector is a convenience, some would say. I don't really think it's a convenience. I think it'll be a hindrance to downtown. But 52 is a safety issue that should have been addressed years ago. And the state is looking to address it. We had a big town hall last year at Hedgeville Baptist Church where we had 50, 60 people show up because it's that big of an issue when we only advertise that it will be happening in a week. And so I understand the city feels that this project is something that needs to happen, but not at the not to take away from the safety that we need on 52. I've stopped sending them, but I still almost weekly get videos from a couple people out there where cars have ended up in their front lawns. And it's, I've been to one too many accidents in that whole area. 52 also can be a vital economic driver to this area. They've started widening from Richmond out through Lancaster, and then the next area that will happen will be Lancaster to Danville. And so that's going to be a huge economic driver for us, along with what Luca Mariana has going on out on 52 and out in that area. And the project, this connector road actually goes pretty much right through the middle of what they're looking to do, and it'll be a huge disruptor to what they're looking to do. The vision, I don't know how many of you have been out there to see the board that was up there for the vision for the amphitheater. I mean, it's not just rick houses, it's not just a distillery. There's going to be an amphitheater out there is the plans, and I'm looking forward to the family style Italian that Francesco's talked about, possibly boutique hotel. I mean, it's going to be a huge thing for Boyle County, and to put a connector road. I mean, we all know about connector roads and how it just will really can mess up an area, as you get people speeding through, and so my ask is that as the city keeps having these talks, I've already reached out to our state representative and our senator and others to make sure that 52 stays at the top. But I talked to Francesco yesterday about it, and he was in town, which is great. He's making a lot of strides to make this his home. At a certain point, he's allowing his son to finish high school, but then they'll actually be here, not only business owners in Boyle County, but residents in Boyle County, which would be fantastic. But Francesco, did you have anything you wanted to kind of bring up about the project or about Luca Mariana Distillery? And
yeah, one just with the safety issue.
Would you like to come up to the front?
Sure.
Yeah, come on up to the podium, sir.
Okay. my name is Francesco Viola, for those who don't know who I am.
Welcome.
But thank you. Yeah, so there is a safety issue on 52. If you look at our stone wall, I mean, we've had several accidents out there this past year, and some have told us and worked it out so we could repair it, and others haven't. But I mean, there's been a lot of problems along that stretch along our property, and I do think if it was fixed, it would, you know, save people some hardship and maybe save their lives too. But it could also help for our development as well, which I think is going to be, you know, we're really trying our best to get things done as quickly as possible. Things take a little bit longer these days than they used to. But I mean, we're nearly completed with the distillery, and we really do not want the connector anywhere on our property. It's going to disrupt everything that we've planned for the last, it's almost 10 years now that we've been at this. So I mean, it's really important to me and what we're doing that the connector or the bypass goes somewhere, you know, further east of our property. If you look at our master plan, it would just disrupt the old flow of our business for the employee side, for the brick houses that we have planned. And our property is is a historic farm for the community. We have stabilized the old home. I don't know if you guys have noticed that driving by, but it's all been stabilized. We finally found the right company to do that, so that all worked out really well for us. And we have plans to complete it in the springtime. But it's a historic farm that we're trying to preserve by creating a business that can then keep that farmland forever, for my lifetime, for my kids and my grandkids moving forward. So, you know, putting a road right through a historic piece of property just, to me, doesn't make sense. And, you know, I'm new to the community, and I just wouldn't want that if, you know, if this was my hometown that my family's from. So anything that we could do to, you know, discuss other locations, if the connector or bypass would be, you know, necessary, we'd like to be part of that conversation so that it just doesn't chop up our property or develop.
Well, someone else talked about.
Everybody wants to talk.
Sorry.
It's okay.
You know, Tom talked about the Norton Center being a crown jewel. I mean, I envision this will be a crown jewel of Boyle County. It's gonna be so much more than just a distillery, just rick houses. Like I said, it's going to serve so much. You know, and Francesco and I have talked for a couple of years now about what he wants to do. But when you actually saw the plan on that poster, it was quite impressive, and it's going to
It's a work in progress.
Oh yeah.
But there's some really neat things that we're working on. We will have an amphitheater tucked inside the village. We will have shops on the first floor, and then floors 2, 3, and 4 will be a boutique hotel in one area. The other area, we've had some really exciting developments the last 6 weeks that we're planning on that could really change the whole industry within our community. There's been a lot of interest with other distilleries to collaborate and work with us, and so, I mean, it really, what we're doing is really something special for the property that we have and for our community. And you know, at some point, if you're interested in learning more about it, you're welcome to come to our property. I can give you a tour, show you around, and take you. I throw people in the back of my pickup truck all the time, so if you want to go in back and have some fun. I mean, it's a little cool now, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you some whiskey to warm up.
Yeah, Judge, Magistrate Cohn, am I correct that the better term for this would be would be a bypass as opposed to connector?
It really is. It is.
Folks, 34 years ago, I was totally involved in the $600 million road bond bill. It was just great news. It created bypasses all over the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Those communities today are rueing the fact that it is more appropriately called a bypass rather than a connector, because economic development bypasses communities, and here we are funding economic development in every way we can, with staff to it, with leaders in this community who are doing everything we can to help you and others to bring us economic development. And I could cite you, if I did a little bit of research, the number of communities out of 9 or 10 that thought that a bypass was a great idea, and now they're finding that it is an economic development drain. I will speak passionately anywhere you want with my 33 years of knowledge of being involved in that $600 million road bond bill, and I'm not near your part of the county, but it would be a devastating impact to have that connector in lieu of what folks like you are doing.
Yeah, I mean, the reality of it is it's to get traffic from, just so people know, from Lexington Avenue, pretty much at the power, the water plant is really where they would have a turn or almost like a bridge that kind of takes you through that farm that's right across, and then you would go back behind Pioneer Playhouse, back through, I mean, that's right by Henson Pond, up into your property on on East Main, and take it out to drop you onto 150 at Goes Pike. So they're looking at widening. So if you think about that, it is not going to be a small street that comes through there. It is going to be large trucks coming through. It's going to be
A bypass.
a bypass. It's going to be damaging is what it's going to be.
I couldn't agree more.
Why we want that through what we perceive to be a soon crown jewel. I mean, it's already awesome to see. I go by it every day and see it. And, you know, I'm excited. I'm not a drinker, but I'm excited to see the vision that these gentlemen have for this property and what it will do for Boyle County. So,
I have heard that a right-of-way was given by you for the connector road. Can you speak to that as to whether it was or wasn't?
I mean,
it's more of an arm twisting.
I'm not a politician, so I mean, I'm just gonna say it direct. They forced my hand to give that to them in order to give me the approval.
Who forced your hand?
The city.
The city, yeah.
Okay.
So I did not want to do that. I had to do that.
And what did you get in return for that?
Was allowed to build our distillery, because I've been trying to build our distillery for, I mean, this will be 7 years now. Once it's done, we started this process 7 years ago, and we bring it before planning and zoning, and they were always great for but then when I got to the city, they stopped me. One person in particular.
Yeah, he's about 2.5 years behind schedule.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, we don't want that through our property, but there is an expiration on it. It expires this year, so I think it expires April 1st. I think it's right around sometime late winter, early spring.
The right-of-way actually legally expires?
Yeah, so
Good.
we don't give them permission to work on, to build that on our property if it doesn't make this budget. So
The
we don't want
state's budget cycle that's coming up right now.
we don't want it to make this state budget cycle. If it does, then we have to accept it, and I'll be honest, the plans I have, I won't be doing it because it just ruins the entire development.
I'll be happy to work with you and Magistrate Cullen in any way, shape, or form to make sure that that does expire.
I appreciate that. Yeah, we want it to expire, and then we remove that deed restriction from us.
Yeah. Well, the
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
You know, Luca Marion is just the icing on the cake. The priority is 52. It's
Yes.
making sure 52 is widened, straightened, and safe.
Well, and my comments are far beyond just one entity in this community. It's the experience of so many Kentucky communities that thought that a bypass was a good idea, and it's been a travesty in terms of economic development.
I want to echo what Magistrate Cullen said, though. Safety is our first priority.
True.
And that's what we want to focus on. That's why I wanted it moved up, because there's been too many devastating accidents out on 52, loss of life, people that have just been injured beyond repair, and we have to work on getting 52 more safe.
Yeah, and if I could on that point, because and I agree wholeheartedly with all of Magistrate Cullen's points here, in the fact that
that's my best birthday present ever.
I know, right? It happens every once in a while. Every once in a while, it happens.
Once every 50 years.
But you know, we really have made a lot of improvements in a lot of our access roads into Boyle County and Danville over the last 25 years, really. And 52, though, is the one that has to be up at the front of the line now, because it is important for safety, for economic development, to continue that access to, basically to Richmond and that part of the 75 corridor is extremely important. That gets us a little more accessible to the northbound part of 75. We currently have good access to the southbound part of 75, and that's going to be important for that part of our access. And I think that will also help all of the wonderful plans that they have. And again, I also want to thank you for your patience and for your investment up to this point in time and your future plans for investment in our community. Thank you very much.
What Magistrate Gay said is so true, because all of a sudden that rings of economic development.
Yeah, exactly.
When we can get over to 75. Judge, I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to move that the court, in unison, deliver a message to the city of Danville with carbon copies of the motion, once, if it's ratified, to our 2 economic development entities in Boyle County, so that a full understanding, and I'll be happy to help draft this, a full understanding of the need for the economic development, for the safety, and everything else that would come to play in terms of our community growth and safety. I'll have to get with you somehow to
kind of beat me to the punch on this one, Tom, because my ask was going to be that we send a letter of support on making 52 the priority. Judge already has the authority, but as a fiscal court, we move that we make 52 a not only a priority, but a must of something.
If you make it as a motion, I'll second it, and I want to formalize it to where we have the vote, so hopefully it'll be a unanimous vote on that letter that's sent.
And that's fine. I'll make a motion that we go ahead and send a letter to the state pushing our support for the safety enhancements of 52.
I second that motion.
We're going to send that to transportation and to our representative and our senator.
And our governor.
And our 2 economic development entities.
Yeah, we'll copy them as well. So.
Okay.
And Tom will help with the drafting of it.
Okay, we have a motion to send a letter of support to government agencies and elected officials in support of the safety project for Highway 52. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Magistrate Ellis. Any discussion?
I just think safety must always trump capacity, no matter what.
I concur.
And this is a promise that was made previously to the people on 52 that we needed to adhere to. So, anyway.
Magistrate Bodner, are you with us? She's frozen
Yes.
again.
She's shaking her head.
All right. Okay, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. Thank you very much. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And thank you for always inviting us out to the various things that you're having out there and keeping us abreast of what's happening and making us a part of it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. And like I said, anytime, come on out. Just give me a call or text me, or Earl, if I'm not there, Earl can take you around, show you around too.
Big Earl.
Yeah, Earl's a great guy.
I do have my bourbon socks on today.
Oh, you do?
Please send me your email information.
Thank you so
He
much.
needs a bourbon hat.
That's right.
Well, excuse us.
All right.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you guys for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Dan's face looks familiar. I don't know where I've seen it every day. Yeah.
Excuse me. Yes, they took my picture off the most wanted on the post office. So there's only 9 left there.
So they put it up on the side of the building.
Thank you all very much.
Y'all have a great day.
Thanks.
All right, a couple months ago, we approved naming the bridge on Highway 52, the James Herring Bridge. But what we did not do was approve an actual resolution to do that. So our Representative Elliott is needing a copy of the resolution so that he can present it and get it done
I'll
in
make a
legislation.
motion that we approve that resolution.
All right.
Second.
Have a motion by Magistrate Cohen, second by Magistrate Ellis. Any discussion on the resolution 24.0109, which names the bridge on Highway 52 the James Herring Bridge? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Thank you, Paula. All right, next is our EMS Director, Mike Rogers, and glad to see you back and hope you're
Yes.
feeling better.
Feeling better this week. I was down last week. Thank
Great.
you. Good morning, Judge. Morning, Fiscal.
Good morning.
First thing on the agenda today is for fleet management. So the road department and Mark and Roger was able to get the 2 bays done for the fleet management bay. Went together really well, really quickly, and we are needing a lift for that bay. I think initially and Roger, you can help me anytime here, but initially the thought was that maybe we could use the lift in the existing road department bay, but we found out that it's a 3-phase lift, and so we can't use it in the new fleet management. And that was a temporary fix until we get a lift installed. So we had budgeted about $28,000 for a lift for the fleet management bay, and so there's basically 2 options that we've looked at. One option is for a 2-post lift, which is usable, but it's a 6-month or longer wait to get it. The other option is a 4-post lift, and I did put that in your packet. A 4-post lift, which is about a 30-day wait to get that. It is a little more expensive. Comes in about 37. I took a picture of it.
37,524.83.
Yep, 37.5.
Those numbers.
Now that was only good through 12/14. Has that been extended?
Well, that's the last quote we have, so
Okay.
I don't expect it to be any different.
Oh, okay.
And that does include installation, so the 37,524.83 is the total for freight and everything. So it is a little over budget, but to be able to get it in a timely manner, that's what we.
Okay, now help me understand, because I can't remember that far back.
Yes, ma'am.
The lift that's in Public Works was already there.
Yes.
Yes.
It belonged to Public Works, and I think the design, they went with that design because it's able to lift a dump truck when it's loaded.
Okay.
So it's their lift that we were just
using it.
We were just going to use it as
Okay.
a temporary fix if it was possible.
And then when we built the new garage, then we were going to get a lift.
Yeah.
Okay, but we only put 28,000 in the budget for it.
Right.
Okay. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Yep.
Just want to
And
make
so
sure I
that's
understand.
kind of it. Just asking for approval to go ahead and purchase.
I'll make that motion that we approve the extra, what is it?
10,000.
Yeah, basically 9,000 something.
Yeah, I think it was, and again, as we talked about during the budget process last year, how, our new fleet management efforts, how valuable that is overall to our county and to our fleet, ability to service our fleet in a timely and cost-effective manner.
Yeah, its cost savings is.
And so I think it's a money well spent.
It's costing us a little bit to get started, but once we get it all said and done, then we'll be
Right.
able to see the savings.
Yeah, absolutely.
For example, the lift that the road department's had has been there ever since I've been here. So they are,
Been there since you've been here, Roger?
Yeah. And way before
Way before
that,
that.
They were lifting wagons back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was horsepower back then.
Exactly, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, it is costing us money, but the county
Yeah.
has saved so much money
Right.
over the past, year and a half that Tommy's been here. And, I mean, it's, yeah.
My question, go ahead.
And it's prolonged vehicles. It's, he's able to get them done quickly. we're not having to schedule any service. He does all the preventative, he does everything to make, everything that, you know, when you buy a car, you say you're gonna do to that car.
Yeah.
He's doing it,
Yeah.
not like, you know, wishful thinking that it's gonna get done and, well, crap, I can't get in there this week to get it done and, you know, whatever, so. $10,000 is a lot more, but it's saving us a lot. I mean, he's saved us probably close to a couple $100,000 already, so.
Darlene, do we have the extra 95, 24, 83 anywhere?
We do.
Okay.
Are we able to use, do we still have any?
Is that gonna come out of fleet?
I actually may have a little bit of reserve in fleet right now.
Okay.
But, maybe not quite enough to cover all of it.
Okay, so
So
they have
the
to
rest
pull.
will be out of general reserve to move over, but
Okay.
it won't be much.
Is there ARPA funds left? And are we able to use that for this as a, I mean, I think it falls
There
under,
is. Okay, she said yes.
yeah, I mean, technically, I don't know if they're earmarked for whatever, but we gotta,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like, we have a deadline on that, on those funds, but,
Mm-hmm.
you know, this is earmarked for improvements, and, which is what we're doing,
So we may have to do both, just do reserve out of fleet and then do ARPA funds to finish it up.
Yeah.
All right, do we have a motion?
Yes.
I'll second it.
All right, and Manager Cullen seconded. Any other discussion? Purchase of the, what is this? Lift?
Yeah, fleet management.
All right, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Thank you, Paula. Motion carries. All right, next.
The next item on the agenda is for a budgeted item for video laryngoscopes. What these are is someone has an emergency, they're not breathing. We use the video laryngoscopes to put a tube into their trachea to, you know, help them breathe after a significant medical illness or accident. We've worked with Dr. Grant real closely on this initiative, as we should. So he's approved everything, but there is, we've got basically 3 quotes. One's from Stryker. Let's see, I can pull up one that we got here.
Flex Care.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got Stryker, we got Flexicare, and we got Boundary.
Sorry, my computer's being slow.
We'll talk to the IT guy about that.
Is that both invasive and with, you know, going through the neck and down to the throat?
No, so this is for every day. If someone's not breathing, we'll just put it through the down the back of the throat. And, for some reason,
We got Stryker, which is, we talked about this morning, that's the McGrath that we're looking for, but they're at 21,000 for 7.
Yeah.
And then we've got the Flexicare that is doing the
ProView,
which is not what's recommended by Mike and by Dr. Durant. And then last we have our
bid from Boundary.
Boundary, that's what I was looking for.
McGrath.
For McGrath, correct. There's 8 of them. That's going to be about a little over $10,000. And that is the one that we spoke about in the committee this morning, and that's the one the committee's recommending we move forward with.
Is Boundary?
So Boundary total is $10,773.93 for 8. It is in the budget. We do have the batteries that come along with that. There's an extra $4,000 in the budget. So this purchase comes under budget, but there's an extra $4,000 in the budget that Mike and his group will be using to purchase training mannequins, for lack of.
Yeah, to be able to utilize the new device.
To be able to practice, because we don't want to practice this on.
I wondered how we were going to do that. If
Well,
we
it
were
was
gonna
either
ask
the
for
training
volunteers
mannequins or it was going to be the magistrates. So Paul and I agreed that not the magistrates.
Paula?
So is that a motion?
So I'll go ahead and make the motion that we accept the Boundary bid at $10,773.93.
Okay. We have a motion by Magistrate Cullen, a second by Magistrate Sleeper. Magistrate Bodner, do you have a comment?
No, I'm just gonna second it, it's a little delayed. so.
We'll let you second it. I'm sure Magistrate Sleeper will be fine with that. All right, so a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Boundary it is.
So this is, essentially, this is one of those things, look in there, see if something's stuck in the airway, or just...
Yeah, it could be, or if when someone suffers cardiac arrest, they just, they'll stop breathing. We put the tube in, continue respiration right away.
Okay, all right.
Are the training mannequins also coming from Boundary?
Yes.
You got one more?
One more. Yes, the last thing is, it's been a long time coming. We've been working on this a long time. In August of 2021, we bought 2 ambulances. One that's already here that we got from Mid-America, and the second one we bought from PennCare. And the thought was we buy one Ford, one Dodge. That way, if they both, at that time we didn't have a mechanic, so if they both broke down, we would take them to 2 different spots, and we wouldn't have to wait. Well, that was the thinking. So the Dodge is available now. It's ready to go be picked up. They actually just are going to do that now. PennCare called me last week and made a request that the chassis of the Dodge ambulance cost them an additional $18,000 over what their price was. So if you order an ambulance today, in their new contract, it says if the chassis costs any more, it will be delivered, the cost will go back to the buyer. Well, when we signed this contract, it didn't say that. So basically this ambulance is $200,635, and that's what the bid was for. That included the wrap on the truck to match the existing fleet, and that should be all covered by PennCare. He called me last week and requested that the fiscal court consider maybe helping meet in the middle of the price increase of $5,000, which is the invoice that you have in front of you, and then we pay for the striping, which I don't have the ambulance here to be able to take it to have it, get a quote on it, but I'm estimating to be about $7,000. So.
Now, this ambulance was already approved?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
With the contract?
Yep, with the contract that's in the packet, with the total price of $200,635.
So we didn't have that clause that said we had to.
Right. So we don't have to.
We don't have to. Nope. We don't have to pay anymore.
That's how business operates.
We discussed this at length this morning, and the premise that I was glad that the gentleman from PennCare came down here to talk to us about it and whatever, but he's like, oh, we're just trying not to lose money on this. And I understand where he's coming from, but it's not our business to lose money either.
A deal's a deal.
A deal is a deal, and not only the $5,000, but we're also going to have to pay to wrap this thing, and so I don't want to pay to wrap it, and then also pay them additional $5,000 because of whatever. I mean, we've had to wait all this time for the vehicle.
When was this ordered?
August of 21.
August 21. Okay.
Yeah, and we got aggressive with purchasing ambulance because we had made the mistake of not purchasing one on our normal cycle, and we paid for it a lot. And so while PennCare might be losing a little bit of money on this, they've made money from us in the past.
And I suspect they'll make money on the base
They will
vehicle.
continue to make money as we continue to work for them on their good faith of accepting our bid and the contract that we negotiated. So, because they've not come back to us once and said, hey, we got this for less, we're going to offer you that lower price.
So your recommendation?
My recommendation is that we go ahead and not pay this invoice.
And just pay for the striping. Is that?
Yeah, we'll get us a price on the striping, because I think after we talked about it this morning, it's going to be less than what we anticipated. But I also, Paula, what do you have to add? I'm sorry.
Well, I understand both ways. John was a contractor forever, and once he gave a bid, if he came up $5,000 short, that was on him. So I do understand that, but I do want to keep, you know, be in their good graces, so I don't want to, I don't think we should pay for all of that.
Okay.
So is the committee's, it sounds like with all your all's discussion, I would wait the committee's recommendation on this. And it
Well, that
sounds
was
like
kind
y'all-
of the thing. We didn't really have a recommendation at that point because we didn't think we wanted the whole court to have input on this because this is, I mean, we're already paying a lot more for ambulance at this point, and we're going to continue to pay more. This same ambulance, if we were to buy it now, we'd get it in 2 years, and it would be about $250,000. But with that new clause in there, we don't know. So,
So they're wanting us to pay $5,000?
Yep, and pay for the striping.
I pay for the striping, even though the striping was
So
supposed
it's
to be
like
included.
12,000
Yeah.
So 5,000 plus striping.
total.
So,
Yes.
as a magistrate, my motion is that we do not pay the additional 5,000, and we will take in the striping.
So we're gonna pay the $200,635.25, the original price,
That's it,
plus striping.
plus striping.
Okay. Have a motion on the floor by Magistrate Cullen. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Magistrate Sleeper. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Thank you, Magistrate Bodner. Motion approved.
How many other ambulance companies are there out there besides Pencare?
I mean, there's a bunch.
Okay.
There's probably 4 or 5 total in the state.
Okay. Now, we've purchased a couple of their demo units as well at a premium because there was other people asking for them. So while this may not go their way, we have been a good customer.
And we have 2 more trucks on order. Just to remind you that we should get during the 2025 calendar year. So sometime next year, we don't know when.
That's what I was gonna ask, where we are on the scale.
We all that by the telling us it's just next calendar year.
Okay.
Look
So with
at-
this one, will we be caught up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're luckily with the help of Pencare, back in 2021, we were able to order ambulances spread out enough, and then we ordered one this last year to where we're in a good spot. We will need to consider to order one here soon for the 2026 calendar year.
Okay.
But it'll be coming up here soon.
Okay. Well, we are where we need to be.
We
as far
are.
as
Yeah,
ordering.
it's fine.
Okay.
We're in a
Especially
really good,
where they're
really
being
good spot.
taken care
Yep.
of
Yep.
by
Good deal.
fleet management.
That last motion did include striping?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. Okay, looks like we are down to magistrate reports and comments. And we'll start the new year off with Magistrate Ellis.
Thank you, Judge. First of all, I'd like to recognize that our staff member, Katina, has a birthday today.
Aww.
Second, Judge, today is National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day, and I would like to at least make that part of our adjournment. Third, we're working very carefully with Harold Edwards and others about issues coming out of Frankfurt on the budget that was allocated last budget year in Frankfurt, which amounted to something near $5 million for parks, and at least half of that is still available. Unfortunately, there are folks in the finance cabinet who would roll that into the general fund if it's not utilized somehow in this budget year. We're working with a number of people, including our legislative folks, to make sure that it is not pulled out of parks. I think we all enjoy our Kentucky State parks and know that all of them are in need of help. So I just wanted to make you aware of that. Chris, the property condemnation in the far part of my district has risen again because it's been well over 2 years that has not been resolved. And folks are realizing that it has everything from infestation with critters to a terrible eyesore on that. So I'll get with you on that, but I made sure to let them know that we will get back on top of that. Third, I was very distressed to learn, I think I made a comment in the previous court and perhaps in the first year in this court, that when we do our improvement, which we're going to work on today, of our energy ordinance, I had expressed other times, and now it's raised its ugly head, of wind power. I was shocked to learn just last week that a 278-foot windmill is under construction in Mercer County. Folks, it's considered a small windmill. It's being done as an experiment because the article that I found talked about the fact that Western Kentucky has plenty of wind power coming, but it's now time to consider one of this lesser size in our adjoining county. I hear the word view shed. I guess it's been invented in the last few years because it's not in Webster's dictionary yet. But imagine with me, 1, 2, 3, interrupting the view shed of our beautiful county when it's only being done right now as an experiment. And then I have other articles that we'll consider when we adjourn today with our smaller group talking about all sorts of energy power. And just 2 days ago, I found an incredible article about the cost and the cost to the environment of solar power or wind power when they break down and have to be disposed of. It costs right now in one section of America less than $2 100 pounds to put them in a landfill, as opposed to $20 to $30 to pull out any of the reusables, recyclables that might come from them. So there are all kinds of considerations that now give urgency to a broader energy policy on this ordinance that we're talking about, which we've been talking about solar, to the environmental impacts long term. There was even mentioned in this article that I just received a couple of days ago that there will have to be construction and deconstruction specialists when they take these things down off a roof of a home or a business, to take great care in how they are actually removed. Therefore, the cost of labor, which might have been $20 per hour per individual, could go up exponentially because of the training that would be required for that as well. With all that in mind, be assured that we'll be working very, very carefully on this new ordinance. Judge, I believe that's all I have today.
Thank you, Magistrate Ellis.
Thank you.
Magistrate Bodner?
Yes, I had some surgery on my eyes, and they water a lot, so I have to wear my big shades here. So sorry about that.
That's all right.
I just wanted to say I enjoyed going to the Heritage Days. I don't know if you can see my Red Devil. It's a Junction City Red Devil t-shirt that I received for being a part of the Junction City celebration in the basketball at Boyle County High School. My grandson was the forward, and in 1961, my uncle was a forward playing for the Junction City Red Devils. So it was really neat celebration of the history from Junction City, and I got to take part of it. And I was real excited to see all the information they brought forward. Some of the old outfits the boys played in, and the cheerleader outfits. It's real neat. John and I both, he was a ball player, I was a cheerleader, so we had some really good time that night. Also, the funny thing they commented on was one of the guys made a three-point shot, and they said, the first ever Junction City Red Devil three-point basket. I thought that was kind of funny, kind of cute. Otherwise, I'm still working on getting us moved forward with the bike park, and other than that, I think we're good.
All right, thank you, Magistrate Bodner. We look forward to seeing you.
Thank you.
All right, Magistrate Harmon.
We all got a copy of the schedule for meetings this
Yes, sir.
year. I just have a question. Why do I take one department and one only?
I think there is an error. Paula pointed out that you were supposed to be on the sheriff
Yeah.
committee,
Yes.
is that right?
Yep, he
Yes,
is.
she pointed that out last night,
Yes.
that you are on sheriff, not Paula.
Yeah, you're supposed
Okay.
to be on sheriff.
Yeah.
Didn't I?
Sorry about that.
I want to pull my part of the wagon.
That's right. We want you in the back pushing.
Yeah.
You don't have to pull, you can push.
Push.
Okay, we'll get that change made. Thank you for bringing that to our attention.
That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Magistrate Cullen?
No, I got him. Don't worry about that. Okay, so let me pull out my list here.
Okay.
There are numerous ribbon cuttings coming up in the area, which is always good. And we should all be getting those emails about which ones they are, but I had it here a second ago. Anyway, Haven Care is having a ribbon opening on the 11th. Dr. Carl Hempel is having one on the 31st of this month, and then there was one more. Five Star on the 10th. That's going to be over by Perryville Road.
Tomorrow?
That 5 Star, yeah.
Oh, didn't know about that one.
That we just got emailed that one. So.
Okay.
And Main Street is having one as well. So
Is there? Okay, good. Perfect.
the 20th.
20th.
20th, yep. Humane Society will be having its obedience class on the first Saturday of February. So if you've got some mangy mutts that need some manners, head on out. Junction City Fire Department's having their pancake breakfast coming up.
Yep.
So mark your calendars for that.
That's on the 20th,
That is correct.
8 to 11. You
Yep.
stole my thunder on that. That's okay.
It's okay. Yep. Collaborative on that one.
That's right.
And then Buster Pike Bridge.
Is it open?
Oh yeah.
Can we drive across it?
We'll let you try first.
You're a broad jumper.
You go ahead and try first. Just do it at night, okay?
Okay.
No, so
That way.
so we have pushed and pushed for the last several months to get meetings done and get our engineers what they need, and that has worked. Our engineers have a number that they need, that the last number that they need to fill in, so the engineering department been full steam ahead, designing, figuring out exactly how we do this. And so they showed us a little bit of renderings the other day of what they envision. They have a couple things to tie up, but I'm hoping that very soon we'll see some progress moving forward with that. But we, I've been getting a lot of calls. We've been making a lot of calls, and so it's unfortunately this is not an overnight thing. We knew that going into this,
right?
Especially when you're dealing with the railroad. So.
Thank you for that report.
Yep. So.
I know it's frustrating for the residents out in that area.
Very, yeah, very, and it's frustrating for all of us because, we knew when it's there, it will be fantastic, and and hopefully we'll all forgotten about this. But anyway, so I got that. Convenience Center. Let's talk about Convenience Center and my buddy Angie back there. We. For some reason, we kind of, not when I say we, I'm just talking in general, we have not paid a lot of attention to some of the abuse that the attendants at the convenience centers are experiencing. And sadly, when I talk to Angie, it's just kind of gotten to the point where like they expect it. And it's not right. We wouldn't allow anyone to come in this courthouse to talk to any employee in here in any certain way, and that extends to every one of our employees. And so we had an incident out at Goes Pike that I was made aware of. It was funny, I was there a couple hours earlier talking with Colin, But then a couple hours later, a constituent had called me and said, listen, I was just at the convenience center, and a gentleman there, who I'm not going to name, was extremely rude, extremely combative towards the convenience center, which was Colin Jefferson. And he said, I just want to let you know that if this ever comes back, the way that Colin handled himself, needs to be recognized, because if it had been me, I would not have sat there and took it for about 10 minutes is what happened. This gentleman blocked the traffic and everything, people going in. Everyone knows how busy Goes Pike Convenience Center is, especially as people are trying to unload all their Amazon boxes, right now. But so we need to commend Colin, along with our other convenience center people, on how they not only keep their composure, but how they represent the county. But we need to figure out a way that we will not tolerate this kind of behavior. These convenience centers are they're convenience. They're not anything that somebody gets to just, we're not going to let people take these for granted, and our employees for granted. So,
and there's rules and regulations
there are
that
rules and
apply
regulations,
to
correct.
these convenience centers of what you can take and not,
Yep.
what we'll accept and not accept.
And they're posted, and these are rules that the county has put together along from our recommendations from our solid waste director and what Republic will take or whatever. So I went and looked, and it was some construction material that was trying to be dropped off, and I looked, and there's two big signs that say no construction material, debris or whatever. In fact, I've called Angie and said, hey, I've got this, can I take it to the convenience center? She says, no, you got to take it to one of the actual dumps, and I did. It was $25 or whatever. It's not a big deal. So my ask of the court is that we allow Angie and Chris to come up with some sort of signage, and the judge come up with some sort of signage that says, we will not tolerate behavior. Law enforcement can be called, they can be cited, and they can be trespassed. Because, I didn't know this because I don't go there very often, but Angie said Allen Springs is way worse than Ghost Pike. So, we need to make sure that all of our employees feel safe and are respected, and they're just there doing what they're told to do. So.
Would some additional cameras help?
Well, I thought that for the new budget that I would ask for cameras for all of the convenience centers, because I think Perryville has the only operational one, and it's really not clear or where I need them to be, and they can't, so I figured to get Bill to help me, since we have them at the Government Services Center, they're working well, that what he has there, he could help me and see. And I may have mine in the budget now, I don't know how much, the cost of them.
Okay.
But
Get Bill to help with that.
Because they have sound and everything, instead of just being able to see, they have sound.
Yeah, and what's amazing is that if this person had not told me, this constituent had told me about this, we'd have never known, because Colin never said anything to Angie.
It's an everyday occurrence. We've got where we just sort of laugh it off and go. If it's bad enough, they do know that they are allowed to call the sheriff's department if need be, or City of Danville being, Ghost Pike. But we've only had to do that on a few occasions. It's got that bad. Last bad incident we had was Allen Springs, and there was another person there that was witnessing that went ahead and called for them. It was bad enough, so.
We
But
take
like I
garbage,
said,
we're not
we're
treated
used
like
to it.
garbage though.
We're
Well,
used to
but
it.
that's the thing, you shouldn't be used to it. And
And I feel sorry for them, but they all do a good job. They all maintain the convenience centers well, so, and I really hate when they have that.
Yeah.
So
Well, Colin
most of the
keeping-
time they call me, and it's okay.
Colin keeping his composure is a testament to what kind of employee he is.
There you go.
Yeah. And those are people we don't want run off.
Right.
Yes. Dan's the same way at Allen Springs. He's taken more abuse than Colin has taken.
Yeah.
And neither one of them is saying is better than the other one.
Privilege or benefit to use one of these convenience centers, so
Right.
I think that if people are not going to act right, I think we can ban them or trespass them from coming to it.
and you pay the bill. I mean, this is a free service that is offered to the residents of Boyle County. I mean.
Right. And it's also a safety aspect for the people going there. It's not just for the employees, but we need to make sure that things don't get out of hand where the people trying to use this don't feel safe going to them as well. So.
Just making sure Magistrate Bodner didn't have anything. She was looking perplexed there for a moment.
Yep.
Good?
No,
Okay.
I agree, Dan takes a lot out here, and he's always stays calm, cool, and, you know, he's very down to earth. I like the way he handles it.
Okay, thank you.
And then last thing I have is Paula brought up the bike park. I apologize, I was not here the last couple of meetings, but when meetings get moved, it's kind of hard for me to adjust my schedule sometimes. So I've mostly pre-cleared all of the meetings that are scheduled. Anyway, I saw that, you know, I know there's an engineering study going on out at Alum Springs, and we're starting to spend some money on it. My question is, and I think I heard Paul say this before, do we have something concrete from the state saying that, you know, it's a go and there's no issues using that area for a bike park?
I'm going to defer to Paul on that.
That's why I wanted to ask.
Magistrate Bodner, I'm sorry.
Yes, and we're actually getting some help. I have all my information that says, you know, they have closed that out the way they're supposed to. It is safe. I mean, number one, there's hundreds of them in Florida that are on top of dumps. But ours was a limited dump and it has been sealed. But I am getting some help in finding all the right people. You've got to make sure, you know, I've got a form we've got to fill out, and we're doing all of that to make sure that we're going to get to where we are. We're just at the beginning phase of this. So, but from what I can see, it looks like it would be a go. I don't foresee anything. But
we do need a definite go.
We need a letter saying it's approved before we get spending too much money on something that may not. I mean, that's kind of one of those things that I would really feel comfortable before we put any more money out, that it's like, yes, it's been approved, and I understand it's happening in other states, but we all know Kentucky can be a little unique. So I'd like to make sure that, you know,
that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing, Jason. We are checking on this. Angie was concerned about the stormwater. We're getting that issue addressed and making sure, you know, from the EPA standpoint, they recommended certain areas, but they did not decline any area in, you know, on the whole project. So we've got that paperwork, the emails, and I've sent that on to the person, that Andrew, that's trying to help us get it all together to show that it's a viable project.
Okay.
So it has a sewer line out to it, you know, so that's a really good thing also, including the safety precaution and how well they put the 30 feet of dirt on top of it and all the sealing. I talked to Tony Wilder, I think his name's there, Tony Wilder about it, and he talked about it, how it was, you know, safely sealed. And that's why the EPA has signed off on it, because, you know, they said it was done like it was supposed to. So this would be a really great use of land that can be used for nothing else. So.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you for your due diligence.
That's all I got.
Thank you, Magistrate Cullen.
Thank you.
Magistrate Gay.
Yes, thank you, and on that point, we did at the last meeting talk about that was something that the whole court wanted to have that documentation in place, so that's a good reminder and a good point. I want to start by just reminding everyone about Martin Luther King Day on this coming Monday. I do serve on the city's standing committee that works year-round to put this event on, and last year we had a really great event, great day. This year, unfortunately, based on the weather forecast, we're not going to be as fortunate on the weather for this event. But I also want to point out and thank the Fiscal Court for your support of this event and sponsorship. And you will see on the flyer that the court is recognized for that support and sponsorship. that we haven't been in the past and haven't done in the past. So again, thanks to the court for that. It is an important community event. As you can see, the march, we meet at City Hall at noon, and we have talked to the city, and it sounds like we may have to institute this. Part of the plan is that we're going to try to open up the fire station as a place for people to maintain some ability to stay warm prior to the march. And that starts at noon from City Hall to Danville High School. But I do also want to say that if you're not inclined, based on the weather, to participate in the march, that you can go straight to Danville High School, and the event will start at 12:45 in the Performing Arts Center, Gravely Hall at Danville High School. So we made that change from where it was at the Jenny Rogers School last year. We just had such great attendance, and the seating was just not acceptable in that facility. So the seating and
There wasn't enough.
Yeah, there wasn't enough, and so the seating and all of those things will be much better in Danville High School. And then I also want to point out that's on the flyer that there is an event at Center College in Newland Hall at 7 p.m. that evening, and that's also always a nice event as well, and a nice celebration.
Should the march itself be canceled, where will that information be?
Yeah, we'll obviously spread that. There is a MLK Day Facebook page that you can go to, and I'll get hold of that information and get to Julie or whoever to make sure it gets on the county Facebook
Are
page.
they talking like -1, Magistrate
Right.
Ellis? Is that what you were saying?
That's on Wednesday.
Oh, on Wednesday.
But it's going to be cold.
Yeah.
The high is 23, the low is 15 on Monday.
On Monday.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so it's still going to be a brisk day. And on that point, and I think maybe this will be coming up, the judge or somebody may be addressing this here in a little while, but that'll be fine. We did have a meeting yesterday morning to talk about opening up warming centers in the community.
I think Magistrate Sleeper's going to speak on that.
Okay, great, thank you. So that'll be good. So that was a really productive meeting, and I had to slip out before it was over. I don't know if everybody realizes, but my retirement job has increased. I unfortunately lost my father-in-law back in November, and so where I was helping him with his business, I'm no longer helping him with his business. I am running the business.
You are the business.
So you're not going to come fix my pipes now?
Right. So my handyman job is backed off. So anyway, that's been a change, and Monday is payroll day, so our employees kind of like it if I get there on Monday to make sure everybody gets paid. So that creates a little bit of a challenge.
Call for 4 inches of snow that day.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So that, and then the Finance Committee met last Friday to discuss our issues that we're having in our tax administration office with our new finance software, and to the point that because of the fact that we're a dual collection tax administration office, and the system which initially the company indicated that they could do dual collecting in the software package, but we found that they cannot, and so we're at this point in time recommending that we can that part of their software package. It's working well in other areas of our finance needs, but it's not in our tax admin, and so
Or our building inspector.
and we're our building inspector. So we're recommending that we bag that part, and we left it that there's still some investigation ongoing to determine what we can use to replace that with. But in the meantime, we're gonna stay with our same old antiquated system that's clunking along, but it's kind of the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know kind of situation.
Can I jump in here real quick?
Yeah.
I came in to the judge's office last week and kind of was made aware of some of this stuff, and so I took it upon myself and reached out to Tom Ham, who's a senior account manager over at Springbrook, and I left him a message, and he had called me back the next day, and so I kind of gave him an idea of what was happening, what was working, what wasn't working, and essentially said, and he agreed that said we need to see if this is the right software package for the county, and if not, we need to just let it go and move on. And he actually agreed. He said, you know, you can't keep trying to put something together that everyone put together. And so he came in on the middle of all this kind of stuff. And so his recommendation is he had a meeting later on that day with the head of operations for Springbrook, that he was going to broach them and figure out, based on my recommendation, is that Springbrook, Judge, Julie, Darlene, Finance Committee, get together with some sort of Zoom meeting to really hash this out and figure out what is happening and how we move beyond this. This was not supposed to be this difficult when we were sold this package. And so he said when he gets availability, he'll send it our way. He'd like to look sometime next week to see about meeting. And so
Would that be to rectify the situation?
Tuesday would be the only day I could meet next week. So
yeah, I'm
if
thinking.
we could get it to the next week, that would be more ideal.
Well, it'll be based on what our availability is.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean Tuesday.
I'm confused. If they haven't delivered, would that be to rectify the situation and keep them, or help him not to make the mistake with his next opportunity?
Well, no, it's more along the lines. I mean, I'm more concerned about Boyle County. It's more along the lines that he wants the head of operations to hear our issues and possibly talk about breach of contract, and to either we exit out and find something that works better, or a lot of the problems have stemmed from, you know, we've kind of gotten passed on from person to person. So there's not been one person from the start that's seen the whole migration to the finishing point. And so we keep getting pushed into person, and then we don't even get the full training that we've been promised or whatever. So this will give us some face time with the head of operations, the senior account manager, to really lay out the frustrations and say this is either going to work or it's not going to work. So
There's about $25 million worth of revenue that runs through that office.
Yeah.
And the way the software was gonna work out was it was gonna be double the work for every single return. We'd probably have to hire 2 people, just to be conservative. So we felt like KBS, at least we know how to use it. And
we know it works.
We know it sort of works.
Yeah.
We can manage it until we decide as a group what's the best.
It cannot be a long-term solution.
Right.
No.
It's bad.
No.
But it's better than what we had.
Yeah.
So,
They have to get a new software because obviously KVS is not going to last forever, but they've got to have one that works for what their job is.
Yeah. So and again, and I'm not opposed to us having that meeting or getting together with them and hearing their side, but at this point in time, based on the information the Finance Committee heard and from all the frustration from tax admin, is we're pretty much to the point where they haven't been able to deliver, and it doesn't sound like they can deliver on what we need, because actually one of the pieces of information that was presented to the Finance Committee was that one of their new customers for Springbrook is Jessamine County, and they told them up front that they could not do dual collection, so they're not able to collect for the city and the county. Where with us, they indicated that they could, and that was part of the reason we went with them, but they're finding that they cannot deliver on that part of their promise, and so we're needing to look in other areas. So that's what we're doing, and we appreciate Magistrate Cullen's involvement on that.
Yes, very much.
But it's
we had to have the conversation in order to exit.
Yeah.
And that contract maybe says something in it that, you know, if there's a problem, they have 30 days to cure, or I don't know. I don't have it in front of me. I need to look at that contract, cure the defect, or else, it's a material breach or.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, isn't it accurate that there's probably only a handful of counties in the state of Kentucky that are dual collection counties?
Correct.
And how did we find out about the Jessamine County? Was it did they somehow we speak to them, or did
Yeah.
River
Yes.
tell us themselves?
No.
Yes.
They're actually going with the software program that we're looking at. And in that conversation, they said, yeah, we looked at Springbrook, but they told us they couldn't do it. And we were like, what?
Well-
So that's kind of how we got that.
That's kind of false advertising on their part if they said they could do it for us, but then they can't do it for someone else.
Yeah, and that's where we think our speculation is that they learned in working with us that they can't do it, and so now they're no better than to promise that.
And if we terminate or whatever, like if we had to pay like a upfront fee just for, I think we should get, ask for some of that back,
Right.
Right.
That's where you come in.
Right.
And I don't think we paid, they've not invoiced us during this time, other than maybe initial small something, but I don't think, so that tells me they know it's not working, or they would have been invoicing us, right?
Correct.
Yes.
That was information presented as
I
well.
thought we paid them a large lump sum of like $40-something thousand, $48,000 if I remember correctly.
Darling, do you remember?
We have a yearly, that's our yearly
Subscription.
subscription amount.
All right.
And then our initial, setup was right in the neighborhood of 100 and, well, we added on something else. So it was close to 111,000
Yeah.
for everything.
All right.
So that's what we have to figure out.
So
is
yeah.
what
So
part
thank you
of
for bringing that up. I was going to talk to you guys
tax
about it later, but
Yeah.
that's.
Yeah. And then the solid waste committee was called together last week by Angie to talk about some breaking news that she had received. And I may need her to help me fill in some gaps here, because I think there also have been some changes to this where we've had a inspection and findings, and now we have a need to do some additional permitting at all of our convenience centers, which is a budgetary concern, an issue in the amount of $2,200 per site. But then if Angie can kind of fill us in on a little bit of the rest of the story, that she is trying to work with the
So after
entity.
thinking about the $13,000, I sort of sat there a long time and I just had too many questions. So I contacted the Columbia Regional Office, who basically handles all my convenience centers, inspections, any complaints I may have or need assistance with. And I asked a few questions, one of the first questions, and of course, when you're dealing with the Division of Water, you have to mind your manners, But, my first question was, okay, most solid waste coordinators I know throughout the state. First person I called was another county. I said, hey, do you all have this type of permitting? I know you have convenience centers. You have your own trucks who picks this stuff up. He said, well, I never heard of that, Angie. I said, okay. So that's led me to making the phone call to, why doesn't this county have one? Why, then my next question was, okay, so stormwater, you have to have a heavy rain event for them to even get a good sample of what we need to have. And where they found this siting at was a place that will flood easily anyway. And I said, we're in a drought. I said, so being in that drought, a rain event came, they ran out there and done this, so where did they test? Where did they get this from? So that was my second question, to the regional office. And, it was basically, why do, I said, we compact. I said, we compact in a compactor, it goes in a box, and it goes out. You know, these other places have trash trucks who, after 6 months, still won't even, and they got the juice. So, well, I wasn't aware of that. Angie said, you know, the picture that I've got don't show that. So he's taken upon himself at this point to contact the Division of Water for me. So hopefully we will be able to stay with our own permitting that we do now and not have to go to leachate permit. If we have to go to the leachate permit, and then it's $2,200 per convenience center.
Recurring cost.
And then it'll also, instead of every 6 months of testing, it will be more often, which we are already at around $2,500 a year anyway.
Do you know when you're gonna hear back from him?
He said he'd get back with me as soon as he can, that if, in the meantime, that if they contacted me, you know, they only give me 30 days, that all I have to do is put in writing that I've turned it over to him, and until he hears back, then I don't have to do anything.
Okay.
So we're going to invite them to come down if they want to, Division, and let me go out with them to the convenience centers and look at them ourselves.
Okay.
I just had a problem, you know. I know we have to comply, and I don't have a problem complying, but the more I sat there and the more I thought about and looked at it, I thought, no, I had too many questions.
Yeah.
I want to know more.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you.
So he is helping us, you know, so kudos to him, you know, he's been a big ally to me, so, over the years, so he's gonna help me do this.
Very good.
And then the last thing is the committee also discussed the issue that Magistrate Cohen brought up earlier, where with the safety and treatment of our employees at our convenience centers, and so we discussed that at length and agreed that signage or something needs to be made
And I've already
policies.
spoke to Angie about that, so.
Yeah, so that was also discussed and recommended, because we agree wholeheartedly that our employees do a lot of good things and assist a lot of people out there. They're always very helpful, and we do have rules in place, and their job is to control and enforce those rules. And I know sometimes that's frustrating and upsetting to people, but it still is no excuse to treat someone poorly.
Right.
They wouldn't want to be treated that way themselves, so there's no reason
May
to
I also
treat
jump
somebody
in,
else that
Judge?
way.
The litter problem, I know we have one. I've got 2 people, and we're doing our best to catch it up and do it and get the mud back out, and we're all over the place, so we are doing it, but Shirley's also mentioned, and you'll be seeing it, we're going to, you know, by ordinance, you are to have your loads covered going to the convenience centers. So we are going to try to concentrate on that for a while, to remind people that they need to do that, because it's a big issue right now.
Yeah.
But they
I really appreciated the 15 bags of trash being picked up on Knob Lick. They picked up 15 bags of garbage thrown out on the road, on Knob Lick Road. I don't know if we could get a sign saying there's a fine for littering, but that was just unbelievable to me that there was 15 bags in that small area.
Probably that many more.
They'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. All right. That it?
That's me.
Thank you, Master Gates. Master Sleeper.
Okay.
Last but not least.
Yeah. There have been several references to the upcoming weather forecast, and when you keep that in mind, you'll understand the urgency of what I'm about to speak on. Magistrate Gay, Judge Votto, Julie Wagner, myself, and met and have had conversations with Brian Coel, our Emergency Management Director.
Magistrate Ellis was there as well.
I'm sorry, Magistrate Ellis. I didn't mean to leave you out. Gary Chenister, a citizen who's worked with warming centers in the past, along with Brian. We recommend that the county take an initiative to establish a weather emergency center. We have several facilities that we're exploring the options. There are several suitable ones in our community. But as we've researched these, the common issue that comes up is liability. These, the leaders of these churches or whatever are very much willing to assist us and provide a facility. However, liability coverage becomes an issue. And so it was our recommendation that the court approve up to $1,000 to go towards the liability coverage of these facilities when they're in use for the weather emergency center.
Is that a motion?
That's a motion.
I'll second.
Have a motion by Magistrate Sleeper, a second by Magistrate Ellis for the court to fund up to $1,000 liability insurance for an emergency weather center. Is there any discussion?
One of the good things that came out of it was when Brian Coyle told us that we have, did he say 100 cots and blankets?
110.
Oh, there you are, in fact.
We got 110.
That's very important, because if these churches or other entities are going to help us, they're not going to have that available, but that's good news, and thank you for that, Brian.
Yeah, we have that really great capacity in terms of material, meeting the material requirements for this center. It's just the liability that's a sticker here.
And when we say emergency weather, it's not only for cold weather, it's for extremely hot weather as well. Yeah.
It could be power outage, frozen pipes, anything that would cause any of our citizens or anyone else in dire need to have a place that they can stay warm, stay safe.
Right.
All right. Any other?
And I guess on that, we were also working, and I think it still is a work in progress, but again, so I'm not sure how far y'all got after I had to leave, but a lot of the discussion was around setting weather thresholds.
Yes.
For the facilities to be operated, so that, you know, because obviously there is, and there also is a need for volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we're going to work with our local churches, faith community, but also any of us that want to volunteer, and there is going to need to be some training that's involved in that. And just another point that I would, sorry to jump in here, that Magistrate Ellis made, which I thought was great, and I don't know if he's talked to Director Rogers yet, but we talked about trying to have a unit while they're idling or whatever. They wouldn't have to stay there if they get called, obviously, but could be hopefully positioned in those at the warming center in case there is any type of
Mike
need
has educated us a little on that, and that could be difficult with shifts and availability, but being close by, I can understand. So I'm not totally backing away from that concept, but just the staffing issue, and then an emergency and having coverage, again with the liability issue, we would have to instantly have other people there. And in many cases it requires, under ordinances, both a male and a female to be available if in fact the ambulance had to leave. So it's a little bit more awkward than I'd anticipated when I first posed that idea. But
They're only a few minutes away.
Yeah, that's right. But I think it is worth looking into and exploring further, because I think it is a good thought and a good idea if they have the capability and to do that. Mm-hmm. That would be nice. And yeah, sorry, I'll shut up now.
Appreciate that.
Well, it'd be another good service for our citizens, you know, should they become displaced for whatever reason, and it's an emergency weather situation, then it provides a little comfort, you know, for them to know that there is some place they can go and seek shelter. So, Director Quayle, do you have anything you want to add to any of that, or?
No, just, you know, we've had 2 or 3 kind of impromptu meetings on this in the past couple of months, but, you know, we're trying to get together a good kind of curriculum to get the volunteers together to kind of give them a basic course on what they need to do to operate as volunteers. So it's not going to be anything major as far as training, but we can get them together and get that part taken care of.
And the urgency's there, because I just looked and now they're saying -3.
Oh.
It's continuing to go down.
Wow.
when we met, it was 7 degrees above.
Yeah, yeah. All right, what else, Measure Slaker?
Also, I received a notice that if anyone's interested in opportunities to help feed the hungry, that I can forward you some information that was forwarded to me regarding God's Grace Service, which provides meals. There's opportunities to volunteer in that area as well. So they do great work, I believe, and so if you'd like to be involved in that, just let me know and I'll forward
Can you
the
just,
information.
yeah, could you send that
Just
out?
send it to everybody.
Yeah, to the magistrates and myself.
Did you
yeah.
send that to the committee?
I have not, but I can.
Can you please?
Yeah, I will,
Thank you.
yeah.
Okay. Anything else? I was making a note.
No,
Anything
I'm
else?
sorry, no, that's it, that's all. I have to write things down so I don't forget.
Exactly, I hear that.
Oh, okay.
Then I gotta find my notes and be able to read them.
Our fine fiscal court clerk is notifying me we did not vote on that last motion, so that was to provide the liability insurance. We discussed, but then we didn't vote. So all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Thank you, Magistrate Bodner. Thank you, Katina. All right. County attorney said he had to step out. He did not have any comments. I believe everybody has mentioned everything that I had written down. So that's a good thing. We don't have to go over all that. I did want to ask Director Quayle if you have any upcoming weather report for the rest of the weekend. Is there
Just,
anything we need to know?
We're kind of a little bit of a lull since last night.
Okay.
Good news is we did have wind, but the good news is we're getting some much needed rain.
Yeah.
We're gonna get some more rain. Right now, looking around, the latest slides they'd sent out to us was around 2 o'clock this afternoon. The wind could pick back up. We could have a 45, 50 mile an hour gust this afternoon.
So we're gonna be under a high wind alert?
We will.
Okay.
Just dealing with the wind and getting much needed rain though. So
Yeah, we do need the rain, that's for sure. All right, well, thank you very much. It also looks like that Mike has put in his EMS report. You may have mentioned that, I just didn't catch that, Mike, so apologize for that if I did. Let me just make sure I didn't. Any schedules? Nope, looks like, oh, did you want to speak on
Yeah, thank you, Judge.
I laid it here and then I moved it there. And...
Judge Bottom and Julie Wagner encouraged me to get back with Ben Ucelis with Spectrum, because we're all, I'm sure, getting phone calls and there's some urgency expressed by everybody who calls me, and I know that's happened here. Katina's even getting calls here in the office. Yesterday afternoon, after just a 2-hour lag, Mr. Ucelis got back to me, and he is optimistic that there will be an acceleration this year of the implementation of Spectrum all across the county. Where he had reported to us 5 months ago, labor shortages, equipment and parts shortages, he is very confident that those two are now in place and they can move forward. The one issue that he raised to me was pole permitting. The poles are KU's poles, they're inter-counties poles, and it's a very slow, tedious process to go through. I met 3 or 4 weeks ago at another event with Jerry Carter, and they are doing everything they can, bending over backward to help, and they were complimented by Ben Ucelis when we spoke. He anticipates some modicum of problems with KU. I said I'll jump in and do anything I can. I don't have any direct contacts with them, and they don't have a local office now, but I'm cautiously optimistic that 2024 is going to be a very good year for implementation on Spectrum. I don't have any more details than that, but it was a good conversation, and he sent us an email that I've sent to the
We can
judge.
only hope so.
Yeah,
because we really need it to move along a little more quickly and let people get signed up and get internet countywide. So thank you for that conversation that you had with me. Appreciate that. All right, well, that leads us to a motion to adjourn, and we are going to adjourn in honor of National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day.
So moved.
Have a motion by Magistrate Ellis,
Second.
second by Magistrate Gay. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. We're adjourned. Thank you, Magistrate Bodner.